Hello everyone, summer is coming to an end and so is Shopify Summer 23 Editions. This was Shopify's massive release a few months ago at the beginning of summer, outlining their 100 plus product updates coming to the platform that included this massive catalog of all their products and updates that are coming soon to the platform and updates that are currently on the platform. For the last few months, I have been researching thoroughly all of these individual cards and all of these individual products to find out which ones are the most impactful for beginner entrepreneurs, small business owners, as I just love helping Shopify small business owners. There's a lot in this catalog, and because not all of it is extremely relevant like B2B selling to small business entrepreneurs or new Shopify store owners, I made a summer 2023 playlist going over the best features that will bring in more money to your store and summed up these features so you don't have to. But now with summer coming to an end and the update being a month or two old, we know a lot more about updates coming to the platform as this was released. Not everything was available. We know a lot more in depth about details about individual products and where they're available or what languages they're available in or what plan you have to be on to access some of these features. And so if you want to give your store and your business a competitive edge by learning all about the brand new features coming to the platform, I highly recommend my summer 2023 playlist so that you can maintain your competitive edge and continue to learn, adapt, and grow your small business. So what I wanted to do today, now that we know so much more about all of these individual products, wrap up one more deep dive going over everything we've learned so far now that we know a lot more, and put a bow on summer 2023 and await winter 23 coming in a few months. Subscribe to the channel. So let's start at the top. So Editions. Shopify Editions is a twice a year catalog that updates all the merchants with all the new products that are coming to the platform. So this was released in the summer and they call it Summer 23 Editions. This has a lot of content on it and the best features are more at the top of the page and some of the lesser known features are all the way at the bottom of the page. Some things are relevant, some things aren't, like app development and APIs aren't very relevant to brand new beginner Shopify owners. And so the most impactful things are right at the top. So the first card is introducing Sidekick. Sidekick is their AI-enabled commerce assistant. So when you're working on your store in your admin, there's going to be, that isn't out yet, Sidekick, in which you can ask it to do things for you and it can do things like content creation or discount creation. It can also help you answer a lot of questions. It's much more than just a searching tool. It's named Sidekick because it can actually do a lot of creation for you. I made a video all about that, so check out the channel. Next to that is Shopify Magic. Shopify Magic is the term for Shopify's whole basket of AI-enabled tools. So Sidekick is one tool in Shopify Magic, as AI is the new frontier that's going to make such an impact in every single industry. Shopify is trying to stay ahead of the game by introducing their own AI tools, which is all under Shopify Magic. I did a whole video outlining everything I can find on Shopify Magic, and check out the channel for that. We have the Shop app. The Shop app is a online mobile marketplace for Shopify store owners. So it's another channel that you can sell your goods on. So imagine you have the Shop app here, which lists products for all different kinds of Shopify store owners all in one place. So merchants and customers can download the Shop app to sell their product on the Shop app, or customers can download the Shop app and find what they're looking for. So it's another highly efficient way of taking your products and selling them on the Shop app as opposed to just your store. I did a whole video on that if you wanted to check it out. This also is a brand new update right near the top, so it's highly talked about. This is on the platform now, and it was a huge redesign of their admin that frankly I didn't like at first, but now we're starting to get over it. I did a video on this just going over the main changes and why there are so many changes. You can't really revert back to the old version that had these green buttons and now these black buttons. But essentially what they're doing is they're rolling out the new admin in variations, one update at a time. So the admin that you see now that gave everyone such a shock isn't the final product. They are trying to move one step at a time to a more fully customizable admin that each merchant can design themselves. Moving down the list here, we have the online store editor. This is a really big feature. I did a whole video on this, and it just outlines the new drag and drop features coming to Shopify, because let's face it, if you have a Shopify store, I have a Shopify store, building a Shopify store with Shopify's online store editor is really frustrating sometimes, as opposed to other commerce platforms where you can just drag and drop pieces of content over here and then just move it. You don't have to code anything and you can just drag it. With Shopify, it's a lot harder to do that and you rely heavily on themes. But now coming soon, this isn't out yet, is going to be a lot more drag and drop features so that you can fully customize your website much more comprehensively. Moving down the list, we have the Shopify Subscriptions App. I did a whole video on this because this is an excellent revenue generating tool that's very simple. So Shopify Subscription App is a Shopify built and developed app. If you wanted to sell subscriptions on your website prior to this, you would have to use a third-party app found in the Shopify App Store. So this is their solution to that. And it's a very good revenue generating tool that I think a lot of businesses can find a way to just hook their loyal client base into buying a subscription. And essentially, if you create a product with a subscription, this is kind of what a customer would see at checkout. Do you want this to be a one-time purchase or a subscribe and save purchase? You can market it as a saving option for your customers, and then you'd be able to choose your delivery frequency. A very straightforward app, but a big revenue generator for a lot of businesses, big and small. I went over that in detail because that could make a big difference. We're gonna head down a little further. The next thing that was a pretty big deal is Shopify Credit. So Shopify introduced their new Shopify Credit Card, which isn't a credit card, but it is partnered with Visa Business. It's a free credit card that doesn't have interest, doesn't have fees, doesn't have late fees, and doesn't impact your credit score. It's a way of consolidating your business's expenses more in one place. I think this helps small merchants because there's always the question, should you open up a business bank account where when you're just starting out, that could be a major challenge and could eat into a lot of your revenue that you might not have when you're starting out. And so selecting a lower tier business bank account would be the only option to save costs, but then you're pretty limited based on your transactions per month with the low tier business bank account that you really won't be able to do that much. So I think this is a big deal and might be very heavily overlooked. The Shopify credit card is only eligible in the United States right now, but as these products come out, more updates will come, and hopefully it'll be available to a lot more locations as you can earn cash back from Shopify that can credit your Shopify bill by using it on things like your marketing ads, like say on Google or TikTok, as well as your shipping labels. Again, only available in the US right now. And so the shipping labels that it was mentioning and the companies were only USPS and UPS and DHL. But as this expands, I think this is going to be a very valuable Shopify product and help a lot of merchants along the way. The Shopify Bundles app is another Shopify made app, which is extremely straightforward, but can increase Shopify businesses big and small with their revenue. The Shopify Bundles app is a Shopify made and developed app where you can just take individual products, put them in a bundle, and advertise that to the customer. So instead of buying one or two products, the more they buy, the more they save, and also the more you make. Extremely straightforward, available now on the App Store and other Shopify made and developed apps, so you don't have to go through a third party. I've been using this a little bit. There are some criteria to setting it up, but it's not that bad. So the first section we see after the main section is, of course, the AI for commerce section, as AI is the new frontier. It's going to change everything in the next few years. We don't really know how it's going to change everything, but it's coming. So Shopify did a good job outlining all its Shopify products, including Shopify Magic, like I said, which is the overall name for all of their AI tools. So what can you do with AI right on Shopify? Well, they launched a new help center, which is much more than just a searchable bot in the corner. It can actually pull up resources for you and answer your questions. So if you're using Shopify's help center, like I have been, you'll notice it looks completely different as this AI bot is in the corner and helps out quite tremendously. If you go into the App Store and you're browsing for apps, there is a new AI-powered review summary that has a little purple star in the corner above it that essentially summarizes all of the main points that people reviewing the app have stated multiple times to give your concise summaries on the app you're looking for all summed up nice and neatly and quickly to you so you can get your app and get back to running your store. In the online store editor, there are ways that the AI within Shopify Magic can help you write your content. Anytime, again, you see these purple sparkles, you'll see it all over the place when you're creating content within your store editor. You can write your content or your keywords. It can give you suggestions, and it can also change your tone of voice depending on your brand. So AI is going to make a big difference in every aspect that you're making content, titles, descriptions, blogs. That's going to be something that it can do relatively easily. This is Sidekick again, their main product that is not out yet, but essentially it's going to look like this, and it'll be on your admin any time of day. It's named Sidekick because every entrepreneurs are heroes. As Toby was pointing out to us earlier when it was released a few months ago, entrepreneurs like you are referred to as heroes, and a lot of entrepreneurs don't have a team of people to work with. They called it Sidekick to be your sidekick, as if you're the superhero and it's always there with you, and it can help you do a lot more things as opposed to just a search engine. Shopify Email is not a new app, but Shopify made and developed app that you can do a lot of your marketing on. And again, the Shopify Magic AI generator can help you build your subject lines, your body, your copy, and optimize your send times. Again, as you can see within your admin, these little purple stars show up for AI suggested content. And again, anywhere that you make content, you'll be able to get AI suggested content to help write and optimize those products. So this whole section on AI for commerce is just about all the different ways that they're inputting AI features into every step of your online business creation. These are a couple more quick examples here under Shopify Inbox. Shopify Inbox is a Shopify made and developed app that acts as a little chatbot on your store. If you have Shopify Inbox, you'll notice that there's a little chat bot in the corner of your store where customers can ask questions that you can directly answer or program answers like this card outlines as another way of gathering frequently asked questions for your store that you can put on FAQ or communicating live with your customers over a chat box. You can also see if a customer is live, if a customer has any products currently in their checkout that you can upsell. It's a highly useful free app that now that they are adding AI features to it, I'd highly suggest checking that out. This is the next card. I'm not going to get that much into it, but I did do a video on the Shopify checkout as there is some interesting statistics going into how Shopify checkout increases conversions compared to other leading platforms. I did a whole video on this, so check out that video in my channel. One of the major features coming to the platform is one-page checkout, the new one-page checkout. It's, I don't believe, out yet, unless you have a specific plan. But the last I saw is that it was in pre-release and you can sign up to have access to it before other people. I think this is slowly rolling out, but I don't think it's quite out yet. I haven't checked my store for it lately. But essentially, when you're on Shopify and someone goes to the checkout, you have 3 pages of checkouts that you need to go through. The product confirmation, the address confirmation, and then the payment details. And what they found is that the amount of effort and time it takes for a new customer to go through these 3 pages leads to a lot of abandoned checkouts and a lot of abandoned carts. So what they're doing is they're consolidating that into one page checkout where it has all of this information in here, but it's just a much longer page that looks like this. So customers would probably be able to autofill a lot of this and have one page where they check out and not lose customers by having them go through multiple pages. A little simple optimization. There's a lot more in that video if you wanted to check it out, but that's one of the main highlights coming from this section. Again, as we move down the page, we do see that some of the features are outlined again. They have some of the main products that were highlighted at the very top of the page are repeated again in their own little subsections here under their own headings. So this is why I highly suggest going through the playlist that I made of Summer 23 that outlines the most important product updates that are going to impact your small business instead of trying to get lost and trying to find all this content that repeats over sometimes. Again, we see more of the same information about Shopify Subscriptions App, Shopify Bundles App here under the customization field. They talk a little bit about their Shop Pay. So Shop Pay is a way giving customers the option of installment payments. So What that means, instead of buying one product straight up for one $200 payment, if they pay with Shop Pay, they would have the option to pay, for example, the $200 in four $50 payments over time, interest-free payments, and terms up to 24 months, which can really convert customers that have higher cart totals. We didn't cover anything really in the app development section, as this is more about people who build apps for the platform. However, there was one extremely interesting product, not really a product, but a tiny update coming to the Shopify App Store. And this is the Built for Shopify Badge. This was extremely interesting to cover and look into, because not only is there reviews and ratings and AI generated summaries for people browsing the App Store, now there's the cream of the crop title for the very, very best apps on the Shopify App Store, and that is the Built for Shopify Badge that you will see under the very best apps that deliver the best performance, that install and uninstall cleanly, that don't bring down your site speed, that integrate well, and have the best ease of use. It's interesting to see this pop up. This is available now because some of the very highest reviewed apps that have thousands and thousands of downloads, thousands of maybe 4.5, 4.8 reviews on the App Store rating don't have this Built for Shopify app. This is not an app made by Shopify, as that is made by Shopify, developed for Shopify, and the developer under the app will show Shopify. This is a Built for Shopify tag that highlights the very, very best apps that outperform the rest in those four categories. This is another highly overlooked small feature that can make such a big difference in Shopify merchants of all sizes. So I did a whole video on this. I highly encourage you to check that out, because every Shopify store has a million apps, and you don't want to install the wrong ones that'll create so many more headaches down the road when it comes to uninstalling them or getting charged for apps that are supposed to be free and that kind of stuff. Shopify is really pushing the shop channel. We talked about earlier, there's a lot of incentives to the Shop app, like Shop Cash Offer, Shop Pay Installments, add your products onto the new marketplace for new revenues. It's a huge deal that they're really pushing, as you can see by this full subheading on the Shop channel. One of the main things the Shop app can do is it can give you Shop Cash offers to your customers, and it can also save your customers' information so that they can check out way faster with the Shop app. Another way of optimizing checkout for higher conversions. The full stack marketing was a very interesting piece that we went over. I did a video on these 5 apps right here. These 5 apps are 5 Shopify made and developed apps that are all free. This is Shopify Email, Shopify Inbox, Shopify Forums, and these 2 are customers and segmentation and automation. I did a whole video on how important these apps are, because I use these apps myself. They're all free, there's no cost, and they cover so much of your marketing for free right on the app. The power of getting one email address and converting that one piece of information of an email address into a sale is one of the most highly impactful main priorities that you should be highly focused on. And if you don't have any of these apps already, I highly recommend checking out that video on that and checking out these apps in the Shopify App Store. As we can see a little bit of example, like this is Shopify Forums, for example, which is this one right here. So essentially, if you ever log onto a website and you see, hey, like, let's be friends, put your email in here, you can get 20% off your first order, and we can sign you up for extra discounts on the exact items you're looking for. That's what essentially what an example of Shopify Forums is, and an extremely powerful free tool that you can set up. This page kind of goes over these 5 apps in more detail, which I covered in that video. It was interesting to read how some of these Shopify successful owners use these 5 apps so much and rely on them so much to be extremely successful. So that was an interesting case study. The last couple most impactful updates on this page are the visually rich product imagery with Google AI. This is a product that's coming out and is not out yet. However, I will cover it in detail when it comes out. And it's just a way of making visual content with Google and AI for your backgrounds, for your images, and for your overall website. As we know, if you have a Shopify store, there was a big integration with Google I believe in May, where they changed everybody over from Universal Analytics over to Google Analytics 4. That was for many reasons, but it created some headaches, it seemed, for a lot of my clients. And I did a video on changing that over and what that meant and why it needed to happen. So if you need more information on that, check out my channel. I didn't cover that much on the B2B selling point, as new Shopify entrepreneurs aren't really B2B. However, there was a very interesting Shopify collaboration with Drake. The Drake-related drops, brand collaborations with Shopify Collective, where Drake made a new store that kind of looked like this. It was a store that was extremely customized. Your store wouldn't look like this, but it was featuring new upcoming things to the platform. And essentially what it is the website looked like this, and it was a tour of his house. It was an interactive tour, so you can go room by room just looking at his mansion. And then within the mansion, there were products like floaties and umbrellas and towels and water bottles and stuff like that that you can click on that you could purchase. So it's a very interesting collaboration between Drake and Shopify that I did enjoy looking into. And that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. A nice way to put a big red bow or a green bow on Shopify Summer 2023. This absolutely beautiful website featuring so many products that are relevant to so many customers in so many different ways. But it's just a really exciting time to be on Shopify, to be a business owner, and to see what's available now from this update and what is coming soon that we'll hear more about from winter editions and news releases that are coming soon that I will be covering. So if you're interested in those, please hit subscribe. Please go watch that Summer 23 playlist of the main features as we go in depth into the most impactful things. But this concludes Shopify Summer 2023. There was so much hype behind this. I really think it delivered just in every way, just the whole website and the design of these cards and how much content is in here. Once you click one card, you can find out so much more information summed up, and then you can learn even more by going to another website. Huge things coming with Shopify AI. I think there's going to be so many updates to this AI and this magic that I will be covering. I don't think I'm going to stop talking about that because I think things are just going to be updating so fast with that, and it's going to be so interesting to keep track. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. If you loved this video and it really helped you and you are excited for winter editions and more breaking news to keep your store on the cutting edge of the latest updates, please hit subscribe, enjoy the channel, enjoy the community, and I'll see you in the next video.